Um, yeah, so in regards to the top acts, I think for me as a judge, it came down to not necessarily the level of talent that they were showing, but just all the nuances of performance, how they used the stage, how they were connecting with the audience, just small gestures, and of course the audience feedback at the very end. But all in all, it was every act was different, every act was diverse, and it was a lot of fun.
And let's see. So, any particular contestant made a striking impact on you?
I there were of course there are always singing entries which are fun. For me, the huge impacts were the acts that were very very unique. The Magic act was a huge favorite of mine, because I love magic because it really plays with your own sense of humor and your expectations, and you're able to laugh because it's not what you expect. Also, the acts of musicians that both performed and also let us know that they actually composed or wrote the pieces of music that they were performing. So they were not even showcasing just the fact that they were performers, but that they were creative in their own right and they were performing something that was entirely uniquely them. I really really appreciated that. And finally, the dancing acts, there were a couple in the younger crowd and in the older group as well. But seeing that physical expression of what music does to us internally is always really great. I always get interesting responses from myself whenever I watch the dancing acts, but those were a favorite for me as well.
Any particular reason why we had some phenomenal singing talents, but the dancing acts ended up being favored by the judges? Any particular thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think for the dancing acts, it was just because they were so unique. And a lot of times you'll see dancing on screen. Whereas music performances, a lot of times you'll see live performances of music, which are equally fantastic. But for dancing, at least for me, I don't necessarily see it live before. So it's a different type of response from the audience, and it's a different type of thing that's very very visual and not just audible.
Perfect.
Sounds like kids are trying to get in.
And so, how did you think of the talent show? I mean, what is the one thing that sort of this talent show stood out, or it excelled at, or something that really strikes you? Because this was the first time you were trying to do this.
Right. Well, for me, especially as a kind of a resident and a student of Saratoga, I really appreciated the fact that this talent show combined a lot of positive elements of the community. It brought in participants from a really, really, really young age to our senior citizens. They were all participating in both the audience as well as in the performances, and it was turning something that was already positive, a talent show, to begin with, and it elevated it to something even greater and grander and bigger than itself in becoming a fundraiser for our senior center. So for me, that was really really special to see a synthesis of goals, and really literally a community coming together, local politicians, teachers, community members, students, parents, all getting involved, this one particular night for something that was ultimately pretty special and pretty rare.
One last question. When we look at, there were a lot of singing talents, and essentially there was a little bit of a disappointment in terms of, we had some super singing talent, but they did not end up getting a prize. So do you think we should have a special category within our prizes to actually award somebody for a Best Singer award?
That
We
is a
had
good
first place,
question.
second place, third place, and then
Right.
we had applause and we had costumes. So
Right.
perhaps take out the applause or the costume and give out an award for the best singer.
Right. I mean, that's definitely a category that we could include. At the same time, we always, it is Saratoga's Got Talent, so we're always looking for, many, many types of talents. But, because singing is so popular, obviously, it's definitely a category that we could look into because we do want to honor, the whole spectrum of talents, regardless of whether they're really popular talents or very, very rare. But, each one contributes in a great way.
Now, one last one, and which was Julia. She did the piano act where she sang in 5 different languages.
Right.
What did you think of
Right.
that?
That was a lot of fun. I didn't, some of them.
So perhaps you want to talk about Julia. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
For me, Julia was a highlight because the costume didn't necessarily match my expectations of what was going to happen. But ultimately it was great. I didn't necessarily understand everything that she was singing, but the expressions really communicated what she was performing, which was cool because for me that's really what music is about. It's not necessarily understanding the words, but understanding the entire package, and just getting people to smile. And I think she got, Julia was one of the acts that really got a huge level of applause just because of the diversity that she brought into her show.
Any final words, Mr. Jow?
Final words. I'm not sure. I was just really honored to be part of such a great event, and I had a lot of fun.